What's up guys, it's the Devil's Talon here, and in today's video we have another installment of viewer VOD reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at Thizz and what I thought he did well in solo arena and what I think he needs to work on. But before I get into this analysis guys, if you do enjoy my content or find what I'm telling you helpful, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. Also, I need VODs to review to keep on continuing this viewer VOD review series. If you are interested in having your gameplay review, please contact me at either Twitter or Instagram. Those links are down below in the description. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So as you can see on the screen, we have Thizz's POV. He is going to be landing at Stark, and we have a early off-spawn fight, and we're just gonna, again, because it's arena, just go through these individual engagements. Now, having visual sound effects on, he hears someone above him. He does a good job of waiting. The opponent should have little to no idea that he's there. Gets some good pre-fight damage, and it's basically a 50-50 with no mats at this point. Opponent is caught off guard, and easy kill, easy quick. We're going to just jump right into the next engagement. He loots up and then jumps right into this engagement. Good crouch walking. Opponent doesn't know that he's there. 72 gets a crack. Doesn't get the piece control and then gets kind of third party from a Stark bot. Very, very aggressive play. Doesn't really pay off. And now we're pretty much shambles on mats. Less than 100 mats. And we're extremely unhealthy against an opponent that probably is going to be at a health advantage. Good usage of this ramp to cover up here. Attempt to get the med kit, but unfortunately opponent did see. Get some good damage, and now we're sitting here with one build. He shoots down the opponent. Good crack right here. And then a fake edit through. And an easy, nice shotgun to clean up. And good job, good clutch up situation there. Not too much to say. So we heal back up and we're still at Stark, so obviously still going to be getting into engagements. And we're kind of creeping around knowing that Iron Man is fighting someone right there, but this is actually not who we're going to originally fight. We see this opponent and we don't push him because we visually sound effect or hear this opponent gets some good pre-fight damage. And then really fantastic aim right here to crack him almost white. Now this decision I do not agree with upcoming. An immediate crash pad into the box with no previous information. I'm never a humongous fan of W keying into a box and we get knocked down all the way to 19 HP and immediately third party. I understand that they're W keying, but sometimes getting pre-fight damage then jumping in is a little bit better. Just 50-50ing into the box can get you ended up getting unnecessarily taken out. Now this is a good understanding of how to get heals off and play space. Notice making multiple boxes, allowing him to look for multiple angles. He catches his opponent not basically paying attention. Good cone, good edit, right hand peek as well as piece control. Ends that fight extremely fast, and we're off to a very good start with 4 kills. Let's just go on to the next engagement. So we're swimming up towards the ruins or Old Authority. And this is going to be a good example of pre-fight damage. Gets some very, very big cracks. And then I don't mind cycling in here because we've now tagged an opponent white, right? So using our exploits to get in, I don't mind that decision at all. I think that's very good. We spray through right here. Opponent makes a good read. But we know our opponent's extremely weak. This is good movement right here, hugging this wall. Now this opponent makes a very bad edit as well. Would have been better off with a peanut butter peek, but good movement to crouch behind the wall and use it as cover. And then pop, recognizing good crosshair placement as soon as the opponent makes the edit, and then we crack them. Let's move on to the next one. So as of right here, we see an opponent driving a car in the river. Very, very interesting decision from this opponent. But once again, now doing a good job of pre-fight damage. And we was like, okay, let's use our mobility to get to this fight fast. That's exactly what happens. The opponent brooms away, which has been removed from competitive Fortnite. So again, do not really take anything too seriously at this VOD review because this item is not in the game. This is going to be another excellent engagement from Thizz right here. Good angle right here. Right hand peek. Baits with the pickaxe. Gets a nice crack. And then gets that back piece control and hugs that left wall. That was excellent all around. Let's just take a look at it in slow motion just to illustrate why that was such a textbook good engagement. So we're cracking through. Notice how we established 2 walls on both sides. We have some piece control. This gives us a right hand peek. We bait once with the pickaxe swing. Get a nice crack. Better damage. Then the wall is 1 tap. Gets the back wall. And there's already a cone in his box, so he doesn't even have to worry about the slide. And notice how the angle was a right-hand peek, and our opponent is pretty much caught off guard, looking silly, and ends the fight extremely fast, which is exactly what we want to be doing with W King. And now we have Witch's Broom, so again, a Silver Surfer-esque type mobility. We fly on this opponent. Do not get a crack here. Good. Notice not double swinging right there. Another example of good pickaxe baiting. Now, good player recognition realizes that we're getting pushed. Mr. Thizz here is going to really show some good understandings of things. Excellent piece control. Gets a crack. And then preemptively predicts where his opponent's going to go. Crack while there. Everything there was so good. Again, very, very impressed with this engagement. Again, very textbook. Very, very, very good. So we don't pickaxe, we don't double swing. We baited an opponent making an edit to stay safe. We now see this third party coming up. We attempt to get some pre-fight damage, unfortunately unsuccessful. We see our opponent jump out, and we make a good recognition of where our opponent is. That could be also due to the visual sound effects. We hear that it's kind of top right, so Thizz decides to make a full box attempt. Gets a nice little crack, and then predicts his opponent's going to go to the right. Tries to establish that piece control, ducks back, gets a crack, and then gets cone wall, and then the opponent is left no choice to take a 50-50, and excellent angle along with piece control ends that fight insanely fast. Extremely good job from Thizz in this clip. So again, we're combining uses of mobility. Gets a pre-fight damage, 31, edits through. Now the opponent's kind of scuffed in the water. We jump right through, and this is going to get another great example of piece control. Recognize their opponent's going to the right. We full box cone slide, and then make a nice right-hand quick peek to end that fight extremely fast. Good pre-fight damage 1, good recognition of where our opponent's going, and then good use of piece control. Let's go on to the next one. So again, we're flying with the Witch's Broom using mobility. We see these 2 opponents basically landing on each other. Now, I don't like 50-50ing into this particular box, but a great clutch up shot, and I don't like the decision to just immediately jump in because, again, we don't have any information on our opponent. This can sometimes result in you getting unnecessarily killed. I understand this is arena, but in tournaments, making that decision would not be the smartest because our opponent could be max health. It's much better to do it on opponents that aren't high health. But let's just jump right into the next decision or next engagement. So we try to Witch's Broom up here. It doesn't end up working. We do a good job here. I like the little pause on that ramp flip because we were setting our crosshair placement in case the opponent made an edit. So really good stuff, slow and controlled. And then some huge accuracy, some huge shots. And again, Thizz showing off his very, very good accuracy, knocking off that opponent in midair before he even lands. Now we get tagged from another opponent. We get some heals off with double box. Very, very good. And we keep on getting pressure from this opponent. And then we use our mobility to aggressively push him. And then very, very good aim to end that fight. Nothing much to say there, to be honest. Let's go to the next one. Now we kind of jump into a box fight down here in Weeping Woods with 2 opponents. Good angle right here. I love the crosshair placement. You can see him placing it right on his opponent in case his opponent makes an edit. Now this is just very, very good accuracy, as well as having very low ping. Gets that wall immediately. Goes for a crack. Needs to realize he needs to get out of there. Good ramp flip. And then uses that mobility to get out, and then has control of a wall, and 2 1-pumps, easy headshots. Just good understanding of needing to kind of not cycle in there and play that very well. Unfortunately, a scuff situation when the opponent crash padded. So right here in this engagement, we know opponent's in here, and we cycle in with the Witch's Broom, and then it's immediately 50-50 in the roof, and then a big 1-pump, and ends the fights extremely fast. The W King skills are definitely on display. These fights are not lasting more than 5 to 10 seconds, usually just due to great accuracy, good understanding of piece control from what I've seen thus far. So notice as an opponent kind of up here peeking, gets up immediately with the immobility and starts to spray through. Now immediately gets that wall and then jumps down unprotected. Opponent makes a great read to crack him right here. Good understanding of creating 2 boxes to get heals off. And so we're going to be right back in this fight full health. And now we take a look at another opponent here. This is going to be another example. We get a good little tag right here. And so Thizz makes the decision to go 1-up Blair. He's like, well, this opponent looks kind of bad. So he just pushes up to him. Now goes for piece control. Needs better awareness right there that the opponent has that top. Needs to place a ramp behind and protect himself. But again, another good example of understanding how to play angles. Double boxes, gets a nice peanut butter peek. Aim is really Thizz's strength from what I've seen. And a good understanding of piece control. You're going to see it again here. However, making a poor edit. It's a good crack. Now going from this edit, it makes no sense. It's a left-hand peek. Going from top should have been the first edit, and you see that's what's successful. That left-hand peek was not going to generate him anything at all, except for him getting cracked, as if the opponent was protected fully by the wall, and he was widely exposed. But we are just flying through these engagements now. I like this game sense awareness right here. He goes, okay, I'm going to go to Slurpee, and I'm going to go heal up in the river and get my health back. And he ends up getting tagged a couple times. So we push up into another fight and get third-partied again, but we kind of, again, go in the river, get our whites, and get our minis off. Now this is a little bit scuffed, but I like the decision again to switch to hard materials to prevent the spamming from continuing. And then we see this opponent here on low ground, and this is going to be another example of just cycling without any information. And we get hit for a little bit, but we use really good and great aim to clutch up. Just the cycling in with no information is not technical W keying. It's can get you in trouble at times. Now, I think this is extremely good awareness from Thizz that he is low mats. So because he was not able to pick up the materials from the opponent he killed, he immediately goes back around 1, gets space from his opponent, and then secondly looks for the mats that he should have off the opponent he killed. So he ends up playing this part very, very slow and passive, which is very, very smart just because of the fact he has 5 builds. And then he finally finds everything. He sees an opponent shoot the wall, and then really, really good damage cracks, and he goes for it. But realize that the storm is there, so he just drops down to decide to get all the mats that he earned from that previous elimination. However, this ends up getting him a little bit scuffed, but Witch's Broom kind of scuffs him. Now, this is a little bit of panic. I notice it's a nice little double box, but once he gets pressured right here, throwing the ramp right there is really scuffed, and then makes some edits. Unfortunately, that opponent, or fortunately, I guess I should say, was not the best quality. And Thizz basically gets free kill from that opponent missing a shot while he wasn't even looking at him. Thizz, again, understanding really good use of this movement item, getting up into zone, no problem. Sitting at 105, getting a big off. So we're going to end up here going and finding some extra materials to make our engagements a little bit easier. Another pickaxe bait, excellent. Again, always getting opponents to make edits on him. 154 crack. Now he gets full box here, but his opponent doesn't go for it because of that previous crack. And then they get into a build fight. Good attempt at piece control. Now, I don't mind using the Witch's Broom right there to psycho in. We know that our opponent is significantly weak, and it's much, much less of a 50-50. I like marking zone right here. Really smart decision, even in not a stacked game with only 3 players and moving. Just knowing where the zone is can always make things easier. Gets a nice little crack on this opponent, and he psychos up on this one. Good recognition that he just uses Witch's Broom, so he can't go in, but he does have bouncers, so that's exactly what he does. Nice little full box. Excellent crosshair placement. That opponent opens up for him. He gets piece control and then catches his opponent napping. Ends that fight extremely fast. We're at 18 kills as of right now. So now we have a full box with all the extra mats, and then we use his Witch Brooms to get over and get in, establish some high ground. Great recognition, good crosshair placement with both the assault rifle and shotgun. We go up for a build fight here. When we don't need to, we can use bouncers to get ahead and pressure our opponent. No need to get into a build fight when we aren't the highest on materials, and we already know we've damaged our opponent significantly. Now, this is a good case of when sometimes making sure your opponent's dead to be dead. Gets a nice little crack, and then a full box. Attempt at a clicks peek. It wasn't executed properly, but good read from the breakthrough, and one pumps the opponent. So there was definitely a lot of good in this VOD review. However, the only thing that really is sticking out to me is just avoiding unnecessary 50-50s. I understand that sometimes that's a tenet of W King. However, it is not ideal in some certain situations. It got him cracked a lot of the times. Thizz definitely exhibits a high understanding of piece control and W King techniques, box fighting techniques, using pickaxe baits, holding right hand peaks, and establishing piece control were evident throughout the VOD review. Really high skill, and that's probably why he's sitting at over 16,000 arena points, dropping near 20 bombs in arena. Very, very impressive stuff. The only tenet that I really, again, would talk about was the fact that he is sometimes just jumps in with no information, and it puts him in very, very scuffed situations. Good players are going to be able to hit their shots at times in tournaments. You want to make sure that when you're cycling in, you're at a significant advantage, or doing it at a point where the opponent is so caught off guard, because there was times opponents made great recoveries, getting some damage off, and especially in that last fight in the Slurpee, he got tagged up, had to use a ton of mats, wasn't able to pick up all the mats that he had gotten from that elimination. But overall, really impressive stuff from Thizz. Showed an excellent understanding of W King, piece control, and box fighting techniques. Well guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope that you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. And I hope I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.